So Deebo Samuel is going to be back for the 2025 season for the 49ers. John Lynch announced it Wednesday. Along with that, he will also cut Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave has the richer deal. He signed a 4-year, $84 million deal, including $40 million guaranteed. Last year, he went down early with a season-ending tricep injury. And as far as Deebo's contract goes, he signed an extension in the 2022 offseason, $73.5 million extension with $58.1 million guaranteed, and he's under contract through the 2025 season. Honestly, man, this is kind of a head scratcher to me. Deebo is over the hill. He's definitely past his prime, and we've seen that the past 2 seasons, especially in the 2024 season. Looked awful out there, man. And even in Deebo's prime, he was an excellent ball carrier, an excellent football player, but as a wide receiver, his position, pretty average. Definitely not a great route runner. Lacks separation for sure. And his hands are absolutely questionable at the same time too. But once he does have the ball in his hands, elite player. And of course, he definitely has a long injury history as well. But I don't know, man. He does tend to cause some drama too. He choked out Jake Moody and the punter this past season. And I just feel like he makes a lot of headlines in all the wrong ways. I don't know, man. He's not a complete knucklehead or anything like that compared to some NFL players, but he's just past his prime, and that's a pretty rich deal. And I just think they should have moved him. They should have moved him 2 years ago when they could have got something for him, but now I feel like his trade market value is essentially nothing. So it's either cut him or keep him, but still, I would rather have a great defensive player than a wide receiver that's past his prime, but that's just me. Let me know if you agree with me. Do you think the Niners should keep Deebo for the 2025 year, or would you rather see him go? And what do you think about John Lynch cutting Hargrave? Does that make any sense to you? Let me know in the comments below. And honestly, the whole Deebo situation kind of reminds me of a time when the Patriots were in their dynasty mode. Bill Belichick would always trade away guys 2 years before they would fall off so that he could maximize the value he could get for each player he traded. For example, Lawyer Malloy, Corey Dillon, even a guy like Jimmy G as well. I'm not saying John Lynch is a bad GM or the Niners are a poorly run organization, but I'm just saying if it was an elite organization or a Super Bowl championship organization, they would have traded Deebo a long time ago. But that's just me. And I really don't think an elite organization would have given Brandon Ayuk that insane contract, but that's a whole other conversation. Now, John Lynch also had a quote to say about Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy has to get paid this year. His contract is up. Quote, "What we know about Brock is that he's our guy. We have interest in him being around for a long time." Now, based on how the past 6 games ended up for Brock Purdy this past season, I feel like Niners fans are a lot more divided on Brock Purdy compared to how they were at the start of the year or in the middle of the year. I feel like if you were to ask a 49er fan, some would definitely be okay with letting Brock Purdy walk. And I feel like this is a really crucial offseason for the 49ers. I know their Super Bowl window is closed. We get that, but if they screw this up, they could really be a basement team for who knows how long. There's a lot of variables going into the 2025 season for the Niners, but if they screw up, this contract, I'm telling you, it could easily set them back at least 2 years. We've seen brutal quarterback contracts essentially holding teams hostage and really just being a burden on certain teams. For an example, the Cleveland Browns, they are locked in with that brutal Deshaun Watson contract. I really think the Tua and the Trevor Lawrence contracts will age very, very poorly, even though even today, a year later after they signed them, already they don't look like good contracts. Even after a day they signed them, they didn't look like good contracts. But I'm just telling you, year and year that goes by, it's just going to get worse and worse. So if you're a Niners fan, let me know what you would do if you were John Lynch. Would you pay Brock Purdy a massive Trevor Lawrence Tua type deal? Or would you let him walk? I would be really, really stunned if Brock Purdy, John Lynch agreed to sort of a bridge deal, like a 2-year, $60 million sort of deal. I highly doubt Brock Purdy is going to take a prove it sort of deal, because I think he knows, and I definitely know his agent knows, that this is probably going to be his only shot at getting a massive, massive generational wealth sort of deal. I really don't think Brock Purdy is ever going to be in a position to get another deal this big again in his NFL career. So you kind of got to go for broke. From his perspective, I totally understand it. But if you're John Lynch, man, I don't know, man. I would really, if I was John Lynch, there's no way. There's no way I'm paying Brock Purdy Tua money. There's no way I'm paying Brock Purdy $50 million a year. Absolutely no way, Jose. I let him walk. I don't care. I let him walk. You let me know what you would do, and what do you think John Lynch will do? Because I'm telling you, man, if John Lynch screws this up, I think we seriously, seriously have to question him going forward. I know him and Kyle Shanahan signed an extension in 2024, but man, that would just be a brutal contract to give Purdy. I really think we saw the real Brock Purdy this year. Without an all-star team around him offensively, I have serious questions about him as a quarterback. I mean, we all knew his arm wasn't anything special, but when he doesn't have those playmakers around him, guess what? You have to make 10 elite throws a game if you want to win the game sometimes. And we saw, especially down the stretch, a lot of picks, a lot of boneheaded picks, a lot of poor decisions. So, I don't know, man. Tough spot. Brock Purdy also had this to say in regards to his upcoming contract extension. More than anything for me, I want to be able to handle business the right way and do it in a respectful manner and get back to my team as fast as I can to get going, to get better, to grow together. I'm not the kind of guy that wants to have any kind of drama associated with anything. I'm here for this organization and for my teammates in this locker room. I want to be very professional about it. I'm not really sure what it will look like or entail, but I know that I'm the guy for this organization and I can do what it takes to help lead us where we want to go. So, I don't know, man. You could kind of take away a few things from that. Kind of read in between the lines to a certain extent. I just feel like that's his way of saying they better pay me what I deserve, and I'm assuming he thinks he deserves a Tua or a Trevor Lawrence sort of deal. Based on that quote, I really don't think he's going to accept 20, 30, 40 mil a year, man. But that's just me. If you interpret it another way, or if you think he's going to take a cheap deal, let me know in the comments below. I highly doubt it. And let me know about what you think about Deebo, Hargrave, and the Niners in general. If you made this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Everything is there to help the quarterback play well. And all I can say about this guy, he's driving well today. First and goal. Jets are in the end zone. That's his first touchdown catch of the season.
Jets now ready to take over again on offense. They were successful on their previous drive, getting the ball all the way to the end zone. I'm sure they're looking for more of the same right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you all